Happy Thursday, everyone. It's Marlow, and I'm back with part 2 of my Tinkerbell cosplay. If you missed part 1 last week, click the link on your screen right now, and it will take you to that video, and you can get caught up before you follow along with this tutorial. In part 2 today, we are going to construct the Tinkerbell skirt. Let's get started. For this Tinkerbell cosplay, I really wanted to have a 1950s fit and flare look, so I decided to use a tulle skirt for the base, and then I wanted to incorporate some real live floral elements. So this is dried Spanish moss. I bought it in a big bulk package at my local craft store, and I'm going to start hot gluing it onto the bottom part of the tulle skirt. Definitely wear some kind of finger protection when you're doing this. I burned myself too many times, and I don't want you to do the same. So to get the fit and flare look with a tulle and the moss, you're going to have to spread the tulle out and go section by section. If you just clump the moss on top, on that top layer, it's not going to give you that fullness that you're going to want for this look. So it is tedious, and it is definitely the thing that took me the longest for this entire build, but it is worth it because it gives you a really beautiful look in the end. So just go section by section, fan out the tulle, and then adhere it. So here's an up close look of what I'm doing, and to adhere it, I'm basically pressing my fingers on the front and back of the tulle to press the glue and the moss together, which is another reason you need those finger protectors. Here's what it looks like, and you'll see how full it is. Because this is real dried moss, I went ahead and sprayed it with this UV floral spray. And now it's time to add the lights. These are those micro fairy lights that I used on the bodice, and I'm just tucking the power pack into the skirt at the top here, and then I'm going to loop them down and around and back up, and the only places I'm going to actually glue them is on the top waistband area. They're going to be placed about 4 to 5 inches apart all the way around the waistband. And the reason I did it like this was I wanted the costume to still have a beautiful appearance during the daytime, and I didn't want there to be a bunch of wires just sticking out everywhere. So this way, because they're not glued down at the bottom of the skirt, I can actually pull the loops out and in front of the leaves if I want it to be brighter at night, but I can also tuck them back in if I don't want them to be very visible when I'm wearing this during the daytime. So I worked my way around the entire skirt, making these loops. The one thing I will tell you that I wish I would have done, that I would advise you to do, is don't glue them to the elastic waistband. I, in other steps, didn't glue things to the actual waistband, but in this step I just didn't think about it. Basically, because I'm looping it, it's going to decrease the elasticity of that waistband, so I'll have to be very careful when I get in and out of the costume because I don't want to pull the wrong way and it break the wire of the lights. That would be very unfortunate. So if you decide to follow this tutorial and make your own Tinkerbell cosplay, make sure everything on the skirt, you're going to glue it down below that elastic waistband, and then you can add like a belt made out of that moss, like the green moss from the bodice, to cover up that elastic waistband, but then you don't have to worry about when you pull it over your hips or your head, you don't have to worry about the wires being pulled. So here's an up-close shot of how I'm gluing the wires to the waistband, and you can see that I'm just looping it up and down and around. And I just tucked all of the power packs into the waistband, and then I might sew them into the underskirt because there's like a lining. So I might sew them in so that it's just very easy to find. But I also don't think that it's a major deal if they were to stay hanging. That's up to you. Now it's time to add the leaves. These are the leaves that I purchased in the party pack online. I didn't realize it, but these large ones, they're meant for like table setting. They don't have a wire, so that was a little bit surprising. They're very, very flimsy, but it ended up working out in the end. So all I'm doing is I'm applying a dab of glue at the top of the leaves. First of all, you don't want to put glue all the way down because you do want them to have some kind of flow. But then also, because they're kind of flimsy and thin, if you put a lot of hot glue on, it will actually kind of show through the leaf. So you don't want that to happen. So this first layer, I'm just setting them side by side. And then on the second layer of these same leaves, I'm going to overlap them and I'm going to stagger it so that it fills in any of the bare spots. So here's what it looks like with 2 layers, and now I'm going to start adding these wired leaves. The first step is to cut off the excess wire using some needle nose pliers. And then I'm going to work in little mini patterned sections. So I'm going to start by basically layering these 3 leaves and lining them up with each of the corset bonings, which there's 4, 2 in front and 2 in back. And then I'm going to fill in the gaps with some other leaves and just make sure I mirror it on all sides. I chose to do a patterned look, but as I said in the earlier video, you can do an organic look. It's completely up to you. It's just a design choice. I liked how this looked, but you can do whatever you wish, and it will look great either way. So here is the finished skirt, and this is the finished look with the bodice complete. Thanks for watching.